Thinking Cap Publishing presents Help! We're Under Attack. A story written and read to you by Dave Cap. Part 1. It's so incredibly amazing, Chet, Leo Reynolds said from the back seat of his family sedan as he pulled out a bent and stained paper booklet from his jacket pocket. Mos Eisley, located on the planet Tatooine, north of Anchorhead and southeast of the Jedhan Wastes, he read, first appeared in Star Wars: A New Hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi tells Luke Skywalker that he'd never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Chet finished from the front passenger seat. I must have heard that a billion times since you've gotten that stupid toy. Chet, be nice to your brother, Mrs. Reynolds pleaded, her eyes fixed on the road. Yeah, plus it's not a toy. It's a... Leo flicked his booklet back to the first page. It's a fully detailed model, he responded proudly. As the Reynolds family drove down the road flanked with skeletal trees under a pale gray sky, Chet grew more and more impatient. Why do we even need to go on this stupid hike? He whined, pulling out his phone. Like his dad, Chet was a little pudgy, with short brown hair and dark eyes. He wore an oversized flannel, tight jeans, and a Yankees cap. Because it's fun, Mrs. Reynolds answered. Breathe in the outdoors. Enjoy something other than that phone you're constantly on. She had curly blonde hair, high cheekbones, and a blaringly white smile. She was slim, even in her puffy turquoise jacket, and was always trying to take her two sons on adventures, even if that meant going on a hike 1 hour away from home. You're excited, right, Leo? She glanced at Leo through the rearview mirror. Oh yeah, totally, Leo cheered. I wish Dad was coming, but maybe next time. Your father will be back from his business trip next week. If we find a good trail, then we can all go together. What kind of place doesn't have cell service? Chet complained again as he thudded his head against the headrest of his seat. Oh, would you please stop? Mrs. Reynolds sounded much more annoyed now, so much so that a silence swept over the car. Sorry, Mom, Chet muttered. It didn't sound like he was speaking to anyone, more so to himself. It's fine. Let's just try to have some fun together, Mrs. Reynolds said, as the warmth returned back to her voice. Leo pressed his face against the window and stared into the surrounding forest. This place reminds me of the time I met Santa. We drank hot cocoa together, and he brought you back to the campsite with a snap of his fingers. You are so annoying, Chet grumbled through gritted teeth. Chet! I told you to be nice to your thud. Mrs. Reynolds only took her eyes off the road for a second. Maybe less, but it was enough time for her to run over something. No one said anything as she struggled to pull the car over. It felt as though the car was limping, hobbling over to the sickly yellow grass. Great. Mrs. Reynolds squeezed her temple with her pointer finger and thumb. Stay in the car, she demanded before stepping out and slamming the door behind her. After a moment or so, she came back, looking clearly defeated. It's a flat tire, she said. Chet snickered before saying, Well, I'd say let's call a tow or a mechanic, but we still have no cell service. Real helpful, Mrs. Reynolds said. And we'd have a spare, but you blew out the left tire 2 weeks ago. Oh, so this is my fault? Chet yelled. Mrs. Reynolds rolled her eyes. Did I say that? Leo wasn't bothered by his family's argument. I'm gonna go see what we hit, he said as he left the car, not even waiting for an objection from his mother or brother. There was a chill in the air, one that was barely protected by his New York Giants beanie and matching jacket. Fixing his gaze back to where they came from, he noticed a bunch of divots and holes in the winding road. No wonder why we got a flat tire, Leo thought to himself as he walked along a crack with both of his arms stretched out like he was atop a tightrope. But then he stepped on something else that felt nothing like concrete. It was soft. He wondered if it was a flower that had blossomed out of a crack. As soon as he lifted his foot, he gasped at what he saw on the ground. He hadn't stepped on a flower. If only it was a flower. It was a tiny, floppy, brimmed, purple hat with a green feather poking out of its yellow band. The hat was so small that it easily fit in the palm of his hand. Did we hit a little person? Leo wondered as a chill crept up his spine. Without a second thought, he bolted back to the car to check the front tire for any signs. His heart was now thumping in his chest, so much so that he could hear it, so much so that it seemed like it was trying to leave his body. Crouching, he heard one of the car's windows roll down. "Leo, what are you doing?" Mrs. Reynolds asked, but Leo didn't answer. Instead, he ran his fingers over the tire's grooves. He started at the top and traced his way down. Then, just towards the bottom, he felt a sharp prick in his pointer finger. There was definitely something stuck in the tire. At first, Leo thought it was a nail, but then he pulled it free. It definitely wasn't a nail. No, nails didn't have hilts. It was a tiny dagger. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2 of Help! We're Under Attack. And as always, be nice to each other.